the vision, and for us as individuals, they're either gonna follow us or they're not gonna follow us, right? When the minute that somebody's coming in, it's like, remember the questions that I told you guys? It's do I trust you? Do I believe you can help me? And do I think you can lead me, right? And so I was sitting down and I had this individual. She's a single mom, 3 kids. And when I sat with her, I was so tuned out. And I was like, Norma, like, go back. Like, she's answering your questions and you weren't answering them. And when I literally caught myself like doing that, I really listened to her. Like, this is this girl that was begging for an opportunity. Like she said, two weeks prior to the exposure here, she was praying for an opportunity and saying like, hey, my husband was getting laid off. I stopped working. She had surgery, and I was just like, man, like I was literally able to bring her on board. But not only that, now her family is like doing the business too, and it's just crazy how like we can either make it or we can like break it. Does that make sense? Yes. An individual. So that was just something that was like a big eye opener to me, where it's like you have to be in the game like all the time, like just in the hunt. And that was my takeaway, you guys. But anyways, I'm gonna be talking to you guys. A complete different message. I'm gonna be talking to you guys about competition. So how many of you guys know about competition and what competition is? You can tell me what competition is.
Competition is like putting up best you can, either beat your prior best or trying to take out your opponent.
What else? What else, you guys? Who believes in competitive here?
Absolutely.
Okay. So why can't anybody tell me what competition is?
Competition to me, it's where you're willing to put everything on the line to obtain that goal that you want.
Everything on the line to obtain that goal. What else, you guys? I want to hear, like, from the inside, what is competition to you? What is it?
Showing you who's best, who's number one, who's on top.
Showing you who's best, who's number one, and who's on top. This is my favorite quote, you guys. I always post this on the group. Here's how I'm going to beat you. I'm going to outwork you, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Competition is not just competing and dominating and like just being number one. Competition has to come from within, like within. Competition is like a burning desire that you have within yourself to be able to win. It's not just winning your opponent. Like you can literally beat people. It has to come from an inner fire. Like you have to like be reignited. And yeah. Okay, so can you repeat this? So I want you guys to look at this video.
How many of you have had a job and you wake up and you say, oh, I don't want to go to that place? And you're here.
Oh, I was like, no, Manchas is good.
You must learn to dominate. You cannot compete.
I don't want you just to compete, because competing is dangerous. Because when you compete, you got to go all the way to the fourth quarter to make that thing happen. But when you dominate, you take your opponent out the game.
People who are truly successful in this world, those people understand how to dominate. Winners dominate losers. Legends dominate winners. And your mentality on this earth should be that you want to dominate winners. Who gives a shit if you beat up on all the losers of the world? They're average and mediocre. It's an easy win. That's what makes them losers. There is no honor in that. There is no real achievement in that. If that's the case, congratulations. You might get a nice car. You might get a nice house. You might have a nice life. But you are never, ever going to be truly fulfilled in your success because you know that you are leaving a shitload on the table.
takeaways, because I'll give you guys my takeaway from the video, but I want to hear your takeaways. Yes.
What is it? Okay, so don't compete, dominate. By dominating your life, people will remember your FNB.
Okay. Yes.
Legends dominate winners.
Legends dominate winners. Anybody else?
It's not a big deal if you beat a loser.
It brought me this when somebody said this, number one, everybody remembers. Number two, nobody remembers.
Yes. It was like Kobe when he was a guest speaker and he's all like, you want to be one? Come with me. You want to go second? Go somewhere else. You guys, my takeaway here is, am I part of a winning team or am I part of a losing team? And if I'm part of a winning team, what is my contribution to that winning team? Your team is going to take pride in what you are. You have to identify what you are, and you have to identify like what you stand for, where you're going. You have to have everything aligned with yourselves. Competition, I'm bringing up competition because this office lacks competition. It lacks competition, and we all need to be reignited. We need to be reignited, and we can't be scared to compete. Because competition brings out the best in you, and can bring out the best in you. It elevates the office. It elevates the individuals. And competition is needed in the business. The top people you guys see in the company making the most money, they're the most competitive. The most competitive. And so when I think about competition, I think about identity. I think about my identity as who I am as an individual, what my team is, what they identify in, who we are, where we're going, and what do we stand for. That's competition to me. Because when you're aligned and when you are aligned and you have clarity, believe me, you compete. And it shows. And people are even scared to compete because they know they can't even go up against you. So, what is competition? It builds team spirit. Your guys' team starts building an identity and a culture. You guys can be like the most competitive team. Frustration is the fuel to ignite your engine, you guys. Your desire to take your business to the next level will boil down to how frustrated you are with your current size of the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't people compete? Because they're scared. Because you're content with just being good at what you're currently doing. You compare yourself with people doing less then rather challenge yourself to be the best you can be. And you simply just lost your fire and desire to win. But there's a motivational quote, you guys. The beast inside me is sleeping, it's not dead. So wake up. What, why, and how bad? Difference, you guys, is clarity. It's the clarity that you have in your mind of where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do. Having a burning desire makes the difference. How bad do you want it? Only you can answer that. Our performance and our results are going to determine based on what do we want. You know what I mean? Like if we're just going to run for a small goal, that's all we're going to perform at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's you're going to perform not like a capacity, but what we want to do. It's not something that we truly like. It's something that burns inside of us, that makes us want to move. Sometimes you want like a carrot in front of you. You know, when F the carrot, like I want to win. Like you guys have to want to win for yourselves, for your family. Like it has to matter for you guys to make this office the #1 office. Like it can't just be a chant where it's like we're gonna be the #1 office. Like no, it has to matter. Like it can't be a chant. It's like saying like President's Club. It's a monthly recurring club. It's Who's our President's Club? So don't say it like a chant because it's not a chant. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Because there's a saying that Andrew says, do I want to feel how your face looks? I want to make sure that you guys are like, are there with me. Next, competition. Challenge your limits. Stop thinking in terms of goals. Think big with a mental exercise, you guys. Like, really think big. Before I even go into this, you have to really imagine like the car you want to drive, the house you want to live, drive in those nice neighborhoods and get off and even pull up into the parking lot, even though it's creepy. But pull up into to the parking lot and get off and just imagine that that's your house. Imagine, like, you guys, I would go to the Lamborghini, like the dealerships and everything, and I would be trying on, like, I remember I would take pictures and send them to Daisy, and I'm like, how do I look in this car? And like the Rolls Royce, like, I imagine myself driving those cars. Therefore, I want to envision it, and I want to see myself in that car. Envision yourselves and what you guys want to do. When you start thinking big and dreaming big, believe me, you're going to perform and dress and act a little bit differently. Believe me. Overcome self-doubt by taking action. Seek power and energy rather than negative thoughts. We can get lost in thoughts and think, man, like, I can't hit FA, man, I can't hit director, I'm like 5,000 points away, and like I'm 3 recruits. Like, you make shit happen when you want to make it happen. Like, we make things happen when we want to make it happen, when it matters to make it happen. But it has to matter. No, go back. Trust your preparation. Worry and doubt will never enter your mind much more quickly if you do not feel confident and have self-doubt. Wait, I think I worded that wrong. Worry and doubt will enter your mind much more quickly if you don't feel I wrote that right. If you do not feel confident and have self-doubt. Control what you can control and don't worry about what you can't. So we oftentimes stay stuck in a problem rather than finding a solution. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes, right? So you have to just work on what you can control, whatever you can, like whatever, so be it. Like, let's not get so stuck in a problem. The weights weigh the same at meets as they do in training. Meaning what? The results are going to be the outcome results based off of the performance and the activity that you're putting in up front. Don't expect results with work that you're not putting in. Can I hear an amen?
Amen.
Okay, next. Competition.
Bless you.
You compete in your team and you compete in your base shop, you guys. You have to constantly, before you even compete with your within your base shop, you have to have competition within your own team. If you don't have competition within your own team, then make it within your own team first. Then it'll be the base shop. Then it'll be the office. You know what I mean? Find a target. Always have a target so you can move. Even if that's like what do they call it? Goliath? Compete with Goliath. Like, the group me all the time is just burning up with smack talk. And there's no room for sensitive people. Like, there isn't. Like, if you take it sensitive, that's on you because you're sensitive. And that's that. Like, there is no low blows. Like, there how can I say it? There is no low blows. Like, everything is about business. How many people do you have in your associate account? How many people did you have in pregame? How many people did you have in phone zone? How many what is the other things we put, Daisy, in the group me a lot? Where do we track a lot? No, not the activity.
Associate count,
Production.
No.
associate count,
We compete in a lot of areas.
but to see, oh wait, no, those kind of
Like, it's everything. Everything's a competition, you guys. Everything. Who makes the most calls? Who makes the most appointments? Who has the most prospects? Like, everything is competition. You want to be number one in every single category. You want to be number one in every single category. And if you're not, then you work your way up to be number one. Why? Because you start when you think about competition, you guys, you start elevating everything. When you start competing and being number one, you're elevating yourself and you're elevating all those around you. And when you come into this business, yeah, it can first be on numbers, but then it becomes a people's business. And you start now influencing people and leading people. And it's like, what is your example that you're putting? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there's a lot of smack talk in the group. A lot. Okay, so why compete? It makes it fun. It creates winners. Brings the best of you. And you prove people wrong. Sometimes people that don't believe you can really do it, in your face, I did it. Thought I wasn't, but I was. Go ahead. Okay, competitors. They're very impatient. They're maniacs. You do whatever and whatever it takes, right? You're nuts. They love to be number one.
You're weird.
They love to be number one. Emotional. They will fight until they get what they want. Just ain't gonna get taken down like that. They're not. Key to win. And oh, what happened to my picture? More calls, more guests, more recruits, more appointments, more excitement. Everything is just more. Thank you. I love that. Everything's more, you guys. We have to be putting in the work. If we're not gonna be doing the calls, the guests, like if we're not tracking into that, we're not gonna see the results we want to see. Because it's just the start of everything. You have to like build your momentum up. And how do you build it? By doing the front end activity. You don't have a notebook, Sherry?
Oh, I have a notebook.
Okay. So I got this, you guys. I wanted you to read this. So first read the quote. It was just everyone. I'm destroying everybody that steps on the court. I had all this pent up frustration that I just needed to let out. It was an avalanche. Whatever, yeah. There was nothing that was going to get in the way. There was nothing that was going to stop me. I wanted you guys, this was the point of this quote. I had to separate myself, Kobe explained. It felt like there were so many things coming at once. It was just becoming very, very confusing, and I had to organize things so that I created the Black Mamba. You know how Marlene always is talking about their alternate ego?
Yeah.
This is his alternate ego, Black Mamba. Bryant went. Brian went. Okay, doesn't touch it. Brian went on to explain that Kobe was tasked with dealing with all of his personal challenges, and the Black Mamba handled the business on the court. What is your identity the minute that you step into this office? Whatever shit happens out that door is out the door. And that's something that we deal with. There's stuff that happens to everybody, you guys. But the minute that we come here, it's showtime, it's game time. And what is your identity? You have to think about that. When I come in here, like I'm very clear and everything else stays out that door. And that was very powerful when I saw that, because it's true when it comes to competition. And with competition, there's gonna be so many challenges and obstacles that are thrown at you. But whatever obstacles and roadblocks and everything that's thrown at us, is how we're using them as stepping stones. It's how we're reacting to all those emotions and all those obstacles that are happening. So the identity, like us coming in here and changing, like the minute that we step into here, like what is our identity? Think about that. What is your identity the minute that I step a foot into this office? Everything else is out the door. I'm not Norma anymore. And then next. You don't have to love the hard work. You just have to crave the end result so much that the hard work becomes irrelevant.
Tell it again. Come on.
You don't have to love the hard work. You just have to crave the end result so much that the hard work becomes irrelevant.
Speak to me, girl. All right, come on.
How do you guys feel? Honestly.
It's irrelevant. That says it right there. Oh my God. Let's go.
I want to see, raise the hands, who's the most competitive here? One. It's always the same hands I see.
I was writing something.
I'm sorry?
I was writing something.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So those of you who didn't raise your hand, why didn't you raise your hand? Ooh. I want to hear why. Like I want to hear real reasons why.
Because I haven't worked to my potential in this last month. I know I'm competitive, but I haven't developed my own. So I don't feel like I have the moral authority to call it out there that I am as of right now.
Yesterday's yesterday, today's today, and this is a new day, and this is like a new start. And so whatever past performance, whatever, like if you're carrying that weight, you're gonna always have that excuse as to why you're not performing. But if you make a decision where it's like, you know what, I haven't been performing to my full potential, but I'm gonna give the best version of myself today and here on out. So that excuse, like that's not an excuse. Even if it were true, shit happens. Next, I'm here to dominate this season. So dominate the last quarter. What else? I've seen a lot of hands. We only have one brief, so? Only one?
I don't know. I'm just gonna be really straight up. I'm more of the type to just walk it versus talk it. Like I'd rather just do it and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know, I just like to walk the walk, not talk the talk.
I would say bogus. I'm gonna tell you why. Because then that means you only talk when you perform, and that's it, and that's just as bad. When you only talk when you perform, that means that you're only a big shot and a big caller when you're performing. But when you're not, you want to stay quiet and silent and just like don't notice.
True.
Even with shitty numbers, you're always vocal. Always. Why? Because I'm a performer. And I want this shit. And I want to win. And so if I'm not winning, or if I'm winning, if I have 0 numbers and I'm at donuts and I have numbers, I'm always gonna be vocal. You have to always be vocal, you guys. Anything else? Yes.
So I didn't raise my hand to say that I'm competitive because that's just not who I've been most of my life. I've never considered myself a competitive person. But what I just heard you say, I have a question. So you're saying for us to keep talking even though my number is 0. So that makes me competitive. Is that what you're saying?
No. Obviously, to dominate and to compete, you have to have numbers. But what I'm saying is you're not gonna be vocal. You're not gonna not be vocal just because you don't have numbers. You're gonna be vocal regardless because you're gonna perform to the capacity that you have to reach those goals that you need to. But if you're just silent, then you're never gonna reach it. Why? Because you just wanna hide. You wanna hide and not be heard or seen or anything. Go ahead.
I do know why I'm not competitive at PHP when I was having a conversation with Little Boots over there.
Who's Little Boots? I keep on hearing Little Boots.
Hello.
And I was having a conversation with her about not feeling confident in myself to get there. And of course, like the book that we're reading now, it also talks about trusting in yourself. And I think that's one of the things I'm dealing with myself. I do believe in that the beast is just asleep. I think that's what's happening with me and actually my 12-year-old son, because I know he has a beast inside of him. He just is quiet, and it's a reflection of his mother as well. That's what I got to say.
Good.
We take that to the bank.
Cash it out.
Well, I would say that I think my competitiveness is stripped from me. I actually didn't have a choice in the matter. Well, in my family life, when you only have one parent around, one parent's working, and you got siblings, means I was in charge of the siblings. So I actually didn't feel that I could be competitive anymore. So, but now that you're talking, I feel that. I feel that.
Burning desire
it is.
inside, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I see. I don't know why, but I keep on like locking onto you. You just like have this. You see, tell me.
I'm trying to understand what being competitive is, and then hearing everyone's story, it's like, well, with you, Tashawn, it's like attached to something from how you grew up. And so there are people that are more competitive, but like I'm trying to think what that means. It means that you're not afraid to kind of take a leap, right? Because I think some people are more attached to even the version that they are now. And so being competitive means that you're already saying, even if you're not there yet, you're already saying that you're releasing the person you are now and you're going to be different. And so that, I think, for a lot of people is very fearful because you don't know what that looks like, but you're already saying you're going to be there. So I think it's just fear.
It's just fear.
I think of it when me and Andrew had a really good conversation one time, and with me and Casey, and he told us, and we were kind of scared because Casey's more on the silent side, I'm more the vocal side. And so he was just telling him that, you know, you have an iPhone, right? And he had an iPhone at the time, and he's like, well, that iPhone always upgrades, right? And he's like, yes. And he's like, why can't you be like that iPhone when you get all excited about that upgrade at the end of the month or after every so often, you know? you get so excited after that upgrade, and when it happens, you're like, oh my gosh, it happened. Why can't you do that for yourself? How are you gonna upgrade your numbers and upgrade your progress if you won't upgrade to the person that you're gonna be tomorrow? I put that on t-shirt.
Daisy, you guys, she's quiet, right? But
She's a silent
Daisy
killer.
She's a silent
is
killer.
competitive. And
Really?
Daisy likes competition because she likes proving people wrong. That's her competitive niche. Like it's like if you tell Daisy no, she'll like shove something up